Boom! Better find that live stream energy, us. There it is. Minimal house music. Making you think of the early 2000s or something.
This, you know what this music is?
Tell me.
This is music that is used in transition periods when you are watching training videos for
Yes.
some kind of like what, like you're working at like Kinko's or you're working at Target, and this is like when they're showing you like things not to do, like don't touch your coworker's ass or boobs.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They couldn't record video, so they're just still images of people in the
right. Like defining sexual harassment, and and this song is playing, and then it gives you like the bullet points.
Yeah.
Like defining sexual harassment.
And those images are also from the early 2000s. You're like,
Right.
why is this still?
Exactly.
Anyway.
Have you ever worked? I don't know if I ever asked you that. Have you ever worked at like a department store at all?
Yeah.
Where'd you work?
Best Buy. Spent a lot of time there.
Oh, you were Geek Squad?
No. Well, I guess technically at one point they took over, the Geek Squad name took over the car installation thing.
Car installation?
Yeah, so like installing car stereos and remote starts and all that shit.
Is that what you did?
For part of my time there, yeah.
Oh, so you know how to install car stereos and all that shit?
I do.
What?
Well, saves myself a lot of money.
Does that mean you know how to steal car stereos?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, you're like Johnny Five.
Thank you.
Not that you asked, but I worked at the Target night shift for...
I assumed it would be part of the conversation.
Yeah. I worked there for I didn't work there for long. I think I worked there for like a summer.
Yeah. Oh, like what age range?
I was in college, man.
Damn.
So 38? No. I don't know.
This is about halfway through your college career at 38.
I was Rodney Dangerfield back to school. We're all gonna get laid.
All right, so we got a healthy group of people here. 51.
I don't know if they're healthy, John. Have you guys gotten your blood work? Have you gotten checked? Have you gotten everything? I don't know how healthy you are.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. I think my live, for some reason, isn't working. It just says 10 people are waiting.
Uh-oh.
It doesn't make sense. So how do I fix this?
Oh, boy.
I was like, why is it only you that has people? What the fuck?
Yeah, Johnny, can you fucking fix your life, please?
I don't know, actually. I don't know if I can change this.
All right, while you change this, or while you do your thing, I'm going to go through the chat. Toy Stalker #1. Good morning with the good morning. Okay. Use code HouseHatter. Sup, buddy? Video Power Gaming. Good morning, sir. You got the Toy Wonder. Good morning. You got Deep Space Niner. Good morning, lads and ladies. Hello. You've got Lee Howell, Boostman. I'm back, and this week I'm not drunk. I don't know. I can't do Lee's specific accent, but there's a somewhat kind of English accent. Joe Caramello, looking all caramelly. Good morning. You've got TiVo67. Yo. Leo, what's up, everybody? You got Devin Decker. Decker, I damn near killed her. Is it happening? You got Frankie Rivera. You got Mike Fee. Let's blast through this. You got Vexen Toys. You got I don't want to be a squeaky wheel. You got Toy Stalkers out. Hey, Johnny, you hear about that guy whining on YouTube and IG yesterday about how expensive the toys are? LOL. Like
Who
I'm
was that?
talking. You're talking about me?
I don't know. Who's whining about how expensive toys are?
Yeah. Why don't you be specific, Toy Stalker?
Because it's
Jesus.
most of people.
Yeah. Joey Shalom. Good morning, Hatter Nation, and I guess Yonatan too. Um, you got Arturo Castillo. Johnny New Toys. Are you not live on? Yeah, Johnny New Toys. Did you keep the
You
live
just
thing or what's going
go to
on?
my channel. I don't know what's going on with it. There's like, I guess there's the one that's actively live, and then there's one that is pending. I don't know what happened. I set it up as I always do, and it just something's wrong.
Oh, that ain't good. That ain't good, bro.
No, it's not, bro.
Mother Slug, morning all. What's the story with your cat slayer hat, or what do you do? I opened it, I reviewed it because I got the go ahead finally from Super 7 to be like, yeah, you go ahead and open it. We're figuring out what we're going to do moving forward or what. Like they got to figure it out because like all I see on the internet are people like, look at my box, look at this giant hole in the box, look at this broken piece, this and that, dude. Can I say this shipping?
Wait, multiple people are having the problem?
Yes,
Oh
there's
no.
multiple people that have the problem. I've gotten people sending me pictures of their boxes. There's also other people that have channels that have the problem. So it's not an isolated incident. That tends to happen when you have a box. Okay, so you have a giant.
Right, with no
You,
packing material inside.
yeah. So you have two boxes. One is gigantic. One is decent sized. The gigantic one, if it's vertical like this, right, has styrofoam on the top and styrofoam on the bottom. So
Okay.
it's like an eye. And the middle part of the eye is the layer itself, which means the whole surrounding thing is nothing but air. And there's no packing material and there's nothing. So if you punch a hole, you're getting nothing but air until you hit body, which
So
is
they
like
they
that's
tried to potato chip it?
yes. That's how you ship it. That's how you ship an eight. And by the way, it was $100 to ship
Right.
the cat's layer.
Right.
100.
That is what they call shipping and handling, and they didn't. They spared all expense on the handling.
You spared all expense, and it's very strange because the Thunder tank was fine.
Yeah.
Like it was,
The van was nicely packed, incredibly
yeah.
well done.
I don't know, dude.
Wow, that's incredible. And they haven't replied to you. Do you know if anybody's gotten a reply?
No, they finally replied to me.
Okay.
It took a week and until yesterday, whatever yesterday was, like I hit them up on Monday, yeah, a week and some change. It's like, wouldn't you think if your most expensive item that you've ever done is going out, you just make sure to. I don't care about. I have a solution. I care about. Hey, we hear you. We'll get back to you, or something like that. Like you don't have to come back with like, here's the answer, but just acknowledge it was just fucking frustrating, dude.
Somebody in the chat had mentioned that, like, did they really only make 516 of those? Do they mark the outside of the box with production numbers like NECA does?
I don't think on mine I didn't see any. They didn't make a lot. These were like made to order.
Right. But
They were super
516 is
expensive.
pathetic.
Dude, it's fucking.
But it is massive. I guess you're like, that's very, very specific people.
Yeah, I mean, it's also Thundercat, so you're already
Right.
now dealing with like
Yeah.
just a smaller.
Maybe that's
It's,
kind of
it's insane. Let's just finish just the hellos here. Hello, Jerry. Reed is here. KJ. Okino 2534. You got the Lone Dragon, who's not alone because he's with all his friends here at the Johnny and Hatter Show. You got Joey Halom again. You got Mikkel Stables, good Hatter. Hope you're well. What's going on, brother? Speed, and then you got the Sonic Tuber. You got Jinx Powder. Oh, dude, there's a League of Legends. Not Jinx, but what is it? V?
Yeah.
Hot Toys.
I know.
I think it's Hot Toys that they just fucking revealed it. It's wild.
Dude,
It
both
makes
of
you
those,
want it.
two of those.
Anyway,
I mean, the 1/6 scale. There's like, yeah, I don't know. I got Mondo stuff, so I have 1/6 scale things, but I do prefer 112 at the end of the day. I think most people do, right?
yeah, I mean, space wise, I don't know, selective on 1/6 scale, but although 1/6 scale, I tend to not pose as crazy. I just make them museum poses, so they just tend to take up whatever space the museum pose is. So
Yeah, you should just get everybody into like hugging poses. So they're all just as close as they can be to each other.
I know I love hugging.
That's how I have my Rogue and Gambit, which you can't see. They're in their lovers comic cover pose.
I saw that in the series of pictures. That was the best pose.
Yeah, that's a good one. Takes a lot of work.
Lovers.
Takes a lot of work. TMNT 1987. Thank you for being here. Super chat for the $10 because he saw the figures of 2025 in the thumbnail. He believes that the LINGJIHUN or whoever will nail the Ninja Turtles this year. That they'll be the best of the best.
I have
a good thought. I don't know.
I'm excited about those, man. I know there's a lot of turtle stuff, but I mean, whatever. I'm here for it. Make some, make some more. Whoa! You just freaked me out with that layout.
I freaked myself out. See, because like down here, why would this be an option?
I kind of like it. Oh, John, I got to add you as a friend on this. Do you want to try that shit today?
At some point today, yeah. I don't. It's gonna be one of those things that like I get really frustrated.
Oh, is it just gonna make you mad?
Yeah, it's like whenever I first started trying to figure out streaming last year, and I was like, oh, I'm using OBS, but I need to use something else, and I had to get my friend, and I was getting so frustrated with these different programs. There's just so many out there.
John, you're tech savvy. You were in Geek Squad.
I know. Yeah. Well, I need to go out, like take my laptop into a car, and then maybe I'd figure it out. I don't have a laptop. All right. This is what we're talking about. Yesterday, we got
Johnny. Johnny? What's going on, buddy? Are you out of the pocket? What's happening?
Yeah. What am I?
Something about your energy, Jonathan.
I just don't have much of it.
No. Well, first of all, it's 6 a.m. and I haven't fucking slept. Okay, and for you, you should be nice and refreshed. It's 9 a.m. for you, but there's something off. Guys, everybody in the chat, there's something wrong with John. He won't say what it is, but I feel his energy is off, but he doesn't want to tell me what's going on. But John, please continue to talk about the LINGJIHUN Ninja Turtles, because obviously that's more important. Just talking about toys and not friendship. Go on.
Wait, what happened? I'm just trying to stay on topic for the people that clicked for the thumbnail.
Who cares? Who cares?
And you want to talk about segues? This is the perfect segue is getting a chat talking about it. And it's like, well, this dude paid $10 for us to look at it.
Well, we're going to look at it. Ooh, speaking of Segway, what if the Ninja Turtles came on Segways? Would that be cool?
Well, yeah. I don't care. Super 7 can make them. I'm in.
No, you're not. You fucking liar. All right, yes, let's talk. Let's talk about these babies.
Yeah, because it was friendship all along, and we'll find that on the way.
We'll find that along the way. That those are the friends we made.
Yeah. So the Mikey and Donatello got announced, or like officially shown off. We saw them at previous things in the past. Wonderfest, they had them on display, but we never got these official like promo shots of Donatello, Michelangelo. So now you get the full look at all of the accessories, which, man, they come with so many hands. Look at these. This is fantastic. You get some, what is that in Hawaii? What is that?
What?
It's not it's like surf's up, bro, but in Hawaii it actually means something. What is this? Your thumb and pinky up?
Oh, yeah. I don't know what that I know that it's in Hawaii.
Oh God, I don't understand other cultures. But obviously, lots of accessories, turtle com, some stuff that we saw with the other turtles, like the turtle com pizza. I think you get some kunais and throwing stars. You get a bunch of tech stuff. They all come with soft goods that we don't know what they look like. It's a mystery item that you get for pre-ordering. So I'm very excited about seeing that stuff. Traditional bow plus one that's like, I don't know, probably shoots electric or something. Then you get a couple different goggle setups, which I really like.
Yeah.
And then three, yes, I think they didn't do like here's the head sculpt and then additionally these, so it's these three all together.
Oh, three in total.
Yeah, three different headbands, which is cool. So they're not articulated, they're not cloth like we've seen with some other brands. They're actually just posable, posable by replacing. But I like that. One thing I disliked about the Joy Toy turtles was the fact that the bandanas were all glued into position and they're like blowing in the wind, but they're all in different directions too.
Yeah, I like that it comes with like a series of just like bandanas. This Donnie's nice. I like the fucking purple they use, man.
Yeah. So, people complain about Donatello. It's like, why does he always have to have glasses or goggles or whatever? It's just like, ugh. Well, Michelangelo always gets a skateboard. So nobody complains about that. I don't see the issue. Everybody's got their own
it's
identities.
because like people with glasses tend to be ironically untrustworthy. So maybe it's just that. But yeah, continue. What do you let's talk about the skateboard.
It will be fun too to like swap stuff around since these things are not molded into everybody. You could just obviously put whatever you wanted on anybody. But wow, you can't trust me. What am I saying? It does seem like he comes with less stuff, but I don't know.
Well, that skateboard takes up a lot of like
your
tooling space.
Yeah, and then these effects, which they're on fire.
He's got on fire nunchucks.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's definitely different. It doesn't have like the spinning effect that we normally see with turtles, which would be nice to have in there. But I guess do something different. This skateboard with all of its it looks a little bit more futuristic. These turtles and their tech kind of seems a little more futuristic.
Yeah.
But I love the variety of stuff here. This is making me very, very happy.
Making you excited?
Yes. Follow Patrick Cho, 1986 on Instagram. He's a customizer, and he does a bunch of. I don't know if he has any connection to this. I would assume so.
Oh, Patrick Cho.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen some of his stuff. What is it?
I guess this is his website or something, maybe.
Oh.
But we'll take a look at his profile, and you'll see a lot of recognizable things here. We kind of mentioned these guys last week.
Dude, look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, this is great. We looked at these guys last week for Leonardo and Raphael and just talked about like all the articulation and detail and stuff. These things are truly gorgeous.
Dude, these are really nice. That thing looks like a mouser.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
These are really fucking nice, dude.
Yeah, I think this will satisfy a lot of versions of Turtle fans. So people that like the Michael Bay, you get a little bit of that with all the techie attachments and stuff. But yeah, this is cool. And they have a bit of the Playmates colors.
Let's catch up on the chat. We got a lot of people here. Hold on. That fucking Mondo. Yeah, that's what I saw yesterday from Patrick. Patrick Cho. That Spider-Man looked pretty cool. Mondo Clayface looks awesome. Mutagen Hooligan. You got another super chat. TMNT 1987. Oh, what is that, Chun? Oh, that's also Patrick.
I guess so. This is that one we've seen like the other renders. I think that comes with I don't know. Maybe this is different.
I like me that.
Cocaine Studio.
$10. Thank you, buddy. From Jay to 1987. We want more TMNT deleted movie scenes. Looking forward to TMNT 3. I mean, that was an actual deleted scene, so I would have to find a deleted scene. But yes, if I can find more real deleted scenes, of course. course, my friend. Thank you for the super chat. I just got the Figma Demon Souls fluted armor figure, and damn, that figure is awesome. That is a nice figure. Congratulations. Filming with him tomorrow. The guy Mikkel Stapler does his own filming. He is a very funny Popeye, another fellow Popeye lover, by the way. Odin, just got my shipping notice for the Mesco Decapod gang. I want to see what those look like, man. Aliens and fedoras. That's all I'm saying, John. Let's just catch up on these. Heat Boy one looks nice too. Impossible Pie, Turtles on Roids. Okay. You got a video game streaming, Abasai Photography, who has new product on his Ko-fi store. Okay. Can you compare them to the Heat Boys Turtles that are coming out?
Kind of.
So that's another one that's coming out. Like the Heat Boys.
The Heat Boy Turtles are just images from like
they're just I don't even think they're renders, right? They're just a Deep Space Niner, by the way, saying thank you, Jonathan, for having my back by catching that missed super chat on GDL stream. I appreciate you, sir.
Absolutely.
That's what he's saying to you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Video Power Gaming, member for 12 months, level rep hard for the MHR. Look at this. How great do those Thundercats look? Thank you for being a member for 12 months. Okay. What the fuck is this? Bethany Beth, we here for you, not Hatter, LOL. What is that? What? We here for you, not Bethany Beth, number one, Bethany Beth. How do you have two Karen names? Bethany and Beth. Okay. Bethany Beth. I should fucking block. John, am I going to start this morning just blocking this person who does, we here for you, not Hatter? No, that's not how you start a fucking Friday. If you want to be here for Johnny, you go to Johnny's chat. You don't come to that's like coming to my house.
Well, that's the thing. We don't know if it's your chat or mine.
I'm here for Johnny. I know
whose chat is it?
I don't know whose chat that is.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Bethany Beth is about to fucking get blocked. And we have also a super chat. Did I miss anything else?
You missed that reminder at the beginning of the year when you said you were going to be nice.
I am nice, John. But when people are not nice to me, then I have to attack. But you know what? You know what's so nice about me? I don't think, John, I swear, I don't think I've ever been a dick to anybody who wasn't a dick to me first. I'm like the nicest guy. But then if you attack me,
remember the conversations we've had about how you also assume someone's being a dick to you, and it turns out they weren't. Multiple occasions. One of my favorite things about you.
Are you saying that I fly off the handle?
Oh God, it's incredible. It's like there aren't even handles for you to fly off of.
Okay, fine, Bethany Beth. I'll give her one more chance. But God, oh my God, if there's one more fucking thing, and she's out. All right, what did we did we miss a super chat? What's going on? I think we did.
Yeah, you
did. Hold on. And I'm fucking cranky, dude. I got like 4 hours of sleep.
This one right here. $5 from Video Power Gaming. What are Johnny and Hatter's top 5 toy lines prior to 1998? Oh, Jesus Christ. I wouldn't even know the name of the brands back then, other than Playmates, because I know it now.
Well, John just started collecting toys 39 days ago. So, but John, you must have some favorite. You must have some favorite shit, no?
From back in the day, yeah, it would be Ninja Turtles for sure. Obviously, I mean, I had 2 totes full of that crap.
Totes my goats.
Then it was X-Men, so like Toy Biz or whatever, and then I mean, out of favorite toys to pick up and play with, and at the time, not knowing anything about them, it's just like one of those things that shows up randomly, but it would have been that Macross figure. I talked about it in my Macross video.
Yep.
The one with the 2 cannon arms.
Macross.
The Batman animated series.
Yes. Yes.
And
I like those.
then I need a fifth one. Who's left? I only had like a couple of GI Joes, and they never really connected with me like Turtles and stuff. Fuck me. I don't know. I don't know the fifth one. I have to really
I
think
mean,
about it.
I Playmates for me, I was big into Power of the Force for a while. I mean, I feel like Power of the Force is what got me started again, and like not again, but like I was
Yeah.
a kid, and then I was like, hey, I'm a teenager, and girls are cool, and then I was like, hey, Power of the Force, and then so Power of the Force is definitely up there. LJN Thundercats for sure.
Right.
Um, I'm sure there's like obscure lines like Dick Tracy or like, dude, you know what fucking line I loved and it gets like no love is the Robin Hood line. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves had a fucking line. They repurposed like the Ewok village and shit. Because I love that movie so much. So that's just like one of these like super nostalgic
Hmm.
lines. So that's up there too. I don't know what the fifth one is. Spawn. I used to collect Spawn big time. Like I had the Spawn. I had like the Kiss figures he did. I had the fucking Monster Maniacs, which were like 1/18 scale, like kind of reimagined. Spawn used to do, dude. I mean, we joke about Uncle Todd now because it's like, you know, he's kind of goofy, but like back in the day, he was a fucking maverick, man. He was like,
Hmm.
we would not have the detailed shit we have now, well, not in the same way if it wasn't for like Uncle Todd and his company just kind of like pushing the envelope. So respect to Uncle Todd. I think we also missed a super chat right here by Mickle Stape. I don't want to miss anything. Super chat. Chickadee China, the Chinese chicken. You have a drumstick and your brain stops ticking. Watching X File with no lights on. John, can you continue that?
No idea. Nope.
You don't know what
I mean, I
song
know
that
the
is?
song, but I don't know the lyrics because
Oh,
it's too fast. It's like that's as
I
much as
can't.
most people know. I think.
It's like, funny when you're mad, something, something, and I feel bad. I'm the kind of guy that laughs at a funeral. What a stupid line. I'm the kind of guy that laughs at a funeral. That's not a kind of guy.
Yeah, that's Joaquin Phoenix, the Joker.
Yeah, you're a fucking idiot. Like if I saw you laughing, even if I was just driving by a funeral and I saw a guy laughing, I would, with no authority, eject him from the premises.
I'd say my fifth line, because that Spawn reminded me of. I did have a Spawn and loved it, but there were some RoboCop figures that I just remember just going hard into. Oh, and the Alien
Bro,
versus Predator line was also incredible. Loved those things.
Alien vs Predator. Yeah.
Oh, so many good ones. So I brought this Bebop up because when I was Googling this brand for TMNT, this popped up for Gundam. But
God damn it.
this is just like a cached thing on the internet. You can't get to this page. It doesn't exist anymore. But it's listed as the same line, the same brand. And Gundam a lot of times takes pre-orders on prototype stuff, like way ahead of schedule. There's like tons of items on their site that are like this. So I
Yeah.
am going to assume that this is indeed going to happen.
I think so. I mean, someone sculpted this and made it, so
Yeah.
someone paid thousands of dollars for this. So it's happening somewhere,
Yeah.
and it
Doesn't
looks
show any
fucking
of the
dope.
articulation points, of course.
Right. But it looks great. We got super chat. I almost missed here. Sorry. I'm Starman 199. Are you guys in on the new Simpson line? Well, I am Starman. You obviously know I am because you've obviously seen my reviews on the Simpsons line because you obviously watch the channel. So I'm assuming you're asking facetiously for me. Yes, but for Jonathan, what are your thoughts on the Simpsons line?
So I, I was constantly trying to find them in Target whenever they were hitting stores. I was like, man, I just want to see them. I just want to see them. And it's like I could never find them. And then suddenly I saw, I think like Otto was the only one that I could find. And I'm like, oh, well, this isn't really fun. So I was just so delayed with it. And I know you could spray them to mattify them. I still want to see somebody that did that.
Right.
But I think that would make them worthy of grabbing, like buying all of them and then spraying them with a matte finish, like people did with the Turtles in Disguise.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
But I
I
don't
think
have
what he
any.
means, I am the Star Man, is yes, he's interested. Holy shit, John. It's like John can't give you like a
But I'm not in on it. That's
no, but
the
like
answer. So I'm not, here's the why behind the why. I'm that kind of person. I like to know the why behind the why. Like when I had a job,
oh,
it was like, hey, all right, we need you guys to start doing this thing, and then it's like, okay, well, just give me the reason why, and then I can understand it and can like execute that.
You know what John is? John is like, when you see somebody you don't know and you're like, "How are you doing?" And he actually tells you how he's doing. Like you just want him to be like, "Oh, I'm cool, this and that," but he's like, he gives you like the whole.
Okay, so since he paid $2, let's just rewind it and then go, are you guys in on the new Simpson line? And I go, no.
John, I'm busting your balls. Holy shit!
Yeah,
What's your problem today?
you,
You know
obviously.
what? This is the day that I would love to have like a real argument, like over, like in front of everybody, right here, even in front of what Karen McCarran, whatever her name is. Oh wait, hold on a sec. Toka Dat Razor with the 5 memberships. Please let one of these be that woman. What I would love it.
Well, she could.
Toka, you got just Alan doing Alan things. You got Impossible. These guys are all members, aren't they? They have to be. Impossible Pie Productions. Anthony Aguilar, congratulations. Michael Mahoney and Justin Nahvi, all members of the greatest. Well, the second greatest, John. I'll call you the greatest today, okay? Because I feel like I'm not being a great friend. So I'm
That's like a
honestly
it's like a
the
it's like
second
a
greatest
pity.
membership.
That's like a pity comment. We got $2 from Gang One. Says Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for Joy Toy would be great for world building. That's a good connection. That would be really fun.
Yeah, that would be.
They could definitely do it, especially the monster line side of things. I'd like to see that. I think if you notice on the screen, this is another one from that company, LINGJIHUN. We need to find out how to say this.
I've never seen this one.
No, this is crazy. So we have Bebop, which he kind of has like a vinyl. I mean, not saying that because the cutouts aren't there, but because he has like no textures, like very early stage, he kind of just has like this would work as a vinyl, like Mondo would do or something. This looks more like a figure with the stance and stuff. He's less stylized looking. He looks more realistic
Yeah,
than
yeah,
Bebop,
yeah.
but
But it's the same. They're both
it
Ling
says
Jun.
according to this, yeah, this is the LINGJIHUN and their prototype of Rocksteady. So I don't know. It's hard to really validate or verify some of this stuff, but
Have they done stuff? Maybe we talked about this already, but have they done stuff in the past? Like,
oh yeah, they
oh, they have.
do.
Okay.
Here, let's go to
So
calendar.
these guys have been around. Okay.
They come on, Happy New Year. They currently do these incredible Pacific Rim figures.
Oh, Pacific Rim is one of those property. Oh, look at him with with the. That was one of the coolest parts in that movie where he took a tanker and he hit the guy with it.
Yeah,
I was like, that's pretty fucking inspired.
I want to like if I could just make random side content, I would love to do like from the perspective that there's still like 30 dudes inside this thing. They're like, "Oh, guys, it's okay, it's okay." We're like crashed on land, but it's okay or whatever. And then they get picked up, and they're like, "Oh, he's gonna save us!" And he just smashes it against the alien. They're all
I
like,
know you got to figure there was at least one person on that ship, right?
"Oh
Like
yeah,"
even if there were no passengers, maybe there might have been like a hobo that was like asleep on the ship or something,
or
or
just
like
like some maintenance guy or like one dude that has like a night shift to watch the boat for security.
Oh, dude, wouldn't it be great just seeing a story about that guy going through his day, and he's like, he's got a problem with his daughter. Maybe his wife is like, like you just see him going through his day, and like he talks to his old dad. He's playing chess in the park with his dad, and his dad is like, "Son, you're not living up to your potential." And he's like, "I know, Dad, I know." He's like, checkmate, like that kind of thing. And then at the end of the movie, he goes into that boat, and he's like, I got to turn my life around. And then the thing grabs it. And that's it. It's like a Sundance movie, but it ends with a kaiju battle.
Yeah. And out of nowhere. You don't know that, like, the movie
You
doesn't
don't know.
feel like
You have no
happening.
idea. And then you realize you're watching a Pacific Rim tie-in movie right at the end.
Yeah. And he's like typing up a text or recording a voice memo, and he's about to send that to the person that like really needed to hear that message from him. So when you leave the movie, you're just like in that kind of daze of sadness. You're just like, oh God, he never got to send it.
Right. He calls up, and he's like, it's almost like John McClane at the end of Die Hard, where he's talking to the cop to talk to Holly, and and telling her how he's sorry, and he's like, "I'm sorry, like I could have been a better husband, and you know what? The time has passed for me to be a better husband because you found somebody else, but I could still be a better father, and that's what I'm gonna do." And like he tells his daughter, and she's like, "Dad, I just," and he's like, "No, I want to be," and he's like, "So the first thing we're gonna do is like tomorrow we're gonna look at some schools," and she's like, "All right, Dad," and she doesn't really believe him because he's bailed on her so many times, but she's kind of like, "Okay, Dad, if you can," and then like as he's hanging up the phone, the kaiju picks up and he tosses him and hits the other guy. And then everybody in the Sundance Theater or wherever the fuck is like, "Oh my God, Pacific Rim tie-in," and it's crazy.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. There's no reason this doesn't get made at this point. Trash around my plastic. This is definitely for you.
Oh, is it? So here's some money. Oh wow, $20. Thank you, man. Here's some money showing support. Blah blah blah. Oh, and call it a bribe, so I can have my Flipbot personally sign on the box by you. Thank you. Can I? Well, thank you first of all for the generous thing super chat trash around my plastic. I will see what I can do because the figures are not coming to me. They're going to Ralph at Toy Stalker, who is then sending them out. But maybe we can make some accommodation, okay? Or I don't know if you go to any cons, I'll sign whatever. If you go to a con, I might be going to a few. Let me know though, dude. Hit me up, DM me, slip into my DMs, okay? With all the other people that put me on block after I talk to them. I'm the only YouTuber, John, where people block me. I talk too much to people. They'll be like, "Hey, I love your show," and then I'll be like, "Thanks, man." And what do you love the most? Can you tell? And I get too needy, and they're like, "Ugh," and then they block me, and it happens constantly, John. So, but I will try. If trash around my plastic, hit me up.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. He already gave you $20. The least you could do is pay for shipping and sign it and ship it back.
I think we could probably make it out.
This is another one for you.
Super chat of 5 USD. I've been subbed to your channel for a few years now, and can also say you are the best to do it, Hatter. Thanks for all the content, Jonathan. Well, thank you, Mikkel Stapler. Mikkel Stapler's been around he's one of the Hatter loyalists. Probably there's a few of these Hatter loyalists, and I know who they are. And thank you for supporting the channel. I'm not a big shot like Jonathan with his what are you at 70,000?
71. Come on.
71,000 chats or things, but we do have a devoted following like Mikkel Stapler here, who I love so dearly and has supported the channel. So thank you, buddy. And a bonus super chat from me. Or it might be to you, John. But
no,
he said, "Love you, buddy," with the hug emoji.
For us to know.
But thank you. I do appreciate the support. And you know what? Me and Bethany are friends, by the way, because she said I would never block Matt. Okay, so you know what? I'm sorry. I did fly off the handle. It's been a tough year so far. 2025, Jonathan. Let me say something. It's not been an easy year so far for me, at least. It's been very work stress. I'm hoping that I get, part of me is like when the year starts rough, I'm like, maybe the year is trying to get it out of the way, and then the rest is like coast. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Get it out of the way, man. Get it out of your way.
What's going on with you, buddy? I'm very attuned to energy.
I don't have any today. This is we'll just assume it is for me because he said so.
Yes.
He's never done it the other way around, ever, even when we could track it. He said, chat for Johnny, $10, thank you. Can we get some acting improv today, please? Maybe Pacific Rim tie-in or follow up on the Hasbro Ecto stickers. Look, I love it. I appreciate it, okay? And then he paid $5 to say he's a loyalist. So I think you could start a cult, is what I'm saying.
I mean, you know what, Peter, I will say that Peter Santa Maria from Mondo always calls me a cult leader.
Yeah.
He's like, you're kind of like a cult leader, which he should fucking talk because he's like the biggest cult leader that he works at Mondo. Okay. Which, I mean, you're talking about a cult. I mean, it's a cult where you get cool products, but holy shit. But thank you, Video Power Gaming. John, can you break him off some improv? Do you feel like it? What's going on?
I would say just let it happen naturally. It most likely will happen. It usually does.
You don't think improv is best when you force it?
Much like our end of stream rap last week, probably.
Oh my God, I choked so hard on that rap. It was crazy. I wish I could edit that out because I look like a fucking fool. Somebody's going to say, how is that any different than any of the ways you end your show?
Yeah, what about every video you do? So back whenever Pacific Rim 2 was announced, I was doing a podcast, Nerds with Mics, with some friends. They still do that podcast, by the way, but we would talk about
with mics.
Yeah, so we would just talk about random pop culture things like games and movies and stuff. And Pacific Rim, really loved the first movie. We were excited about the sequel, but we just knew that they were making a sequel. We didn't know the name of it. So at some point, when I brought it up as my topic in the stream, I said, well, you officially got the subtitle for Pacific Rim 2. It's not just Pacific Rim 2. It's called Pacific Rim, Job Never Too Big. Why are you sighing about it? It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Pacific Rim Job Never Too Big. Because it's also very on theme.
I know,
Giant kaiju's job never too big.
I got it, but don't you think the rim job thing is a little low-hanging fruit? Like,
well, that's why there's a colon in there, so it's not so obvious.
Got it. Okay.
And then the colon also plays like a nice, fun part.
I mean, why did I'm more interested in the fact that you were in this other podcast that I never heard about. And now, like you just kind of can't. It
was number 5 on iTunes for like 3 weeks.
Oh, really?
No, not even.
Okay.
Number 5 at the bottom. Tokadat Razor. Look at that. He's Hatter Nation.
Whoop whoop. Tokadat Razor, another of the Hatter loyalists. That Razor.
As many people he gifts chats to or memberships to, he would be the guy that goes and recruits more people for the Hatter.
Oh, dude, I love whenever I see Tokadat Razor has brought more memberships into the channel than I have, and my name is in the channel. Well, not really my name, but Tokadat Razor is probably the closest to the Tatsu of my shredder is Tokadat Razor, where Tatsu just goes out and just do you think that Tatsu started? Okay, there's probably some lore here, but do you think that Tatsu started as a foot soldier that rose through the ranks, or is Tatsu is older, so he's got to be around Shredder's age? did him and Tatsu know each other as gangsters, and then like Tatsu just kind of like Tatsu could not have been a foot soldier that rose through the ranks. He's too old, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's a little bit of connection to his real life, I guess. Right? He became a master in a technique, and then he taught others how to do it. I think it was just the two of them, like, kind of hanging around and just getting tired of some shit. And it's just like, you know, we're always at the bottom. You know, we gotta make our own life. We're gonna take what's ours. That kind of mentality. And then they started like building up and slowly getting people like Tokadat Razar, Trash Around My Plastic, you know, like these key people that are like into what they're saying. Yeah. You know what I want to see is like a heist movie kind of idea with Tatsu and Shredder before they become those two.
Like the things they did like before. Yeah, I would love to see them like working at like a department store and life really sucks. And then like they come up with the idea. No, you know what it is? They work at a department store and like, but they have like martial arts skills. Okay, like, you know, they're from the old country, whatever, but they're, you know, maybe they're immigrants. Maybe that's the thing, John. And they're immigrants and they're working at a store and life like really sucks. And it's like, Aruku, or no, it'd be Saki. Like his first name would be, he's like, hey, Saki kid, you know, put the fucking thing back on the shelf. And he's like, and you know, he's like trying to put things on the shelf. And then like a shredder falls and he catches it. And like, that's like a sign. And then he goes to Tatsu and he's kind of like, I think I have what we should do. Where he's like, what are you talking about? Like they're working in the back room and there's like a bad boss. And he's like, fucking mop the floor. And he's like, I think we should start an organization or something. And then they just like maybe it just begins like that.
Yeah. And I love the idea that Tatsu, because he just is Tatsu, but because he's younger, his first name's like Jimmy. Jimmy Tatsu.
Jimmy Tatsu.
And his boss keeps calling him Jimmy. And he's like, he's kind of like, he's not really confident and he's not confrontational, but he's just like, it's just Tatsu. Just kind of, you know, like he goes and does whatever the boss says, but he's under his breath. It's just Tatsu. Yeah. So at the end, when the shredder thing and they go in, they're like about to kick the ass out of that boss, and he's like, "It's just Tatsu."
Yeah, he just goes up.
Yeah.
And you know, Rukusaki's like, you know, aren't you? He's like, Jimmy, aren't you tired of getting pushed around? He's like, I don't know, but we got a good job. And he kind of like puts his fucking finger in his chest and he's like, you gonna fucking take that shit? And he's like, come on, Saki. You know, just like I also imagine him, big mop of hair, a little portly, and he just kind of sits like in the back of the break room, just kind of like eating. And you know, Arukusaki's like, dude, we got to do something with our fucking lives. We got to do, you know, and maybe they get the idea. How do they get the idea to call it the Foot Clan? Like maybe maybe the boss is like, I'm gonna put my foot up your ass, you know, like does something, and then it's like Batman.
Yeah, he's like, what are you guys? Just some like, just always just like a little clan. The two of you guys always working. You're supposed to be in electronics. You're supposed to be in home goods.
Tatsu, I like that Jimmy Tatsu is working in home goods. Yeah, and maybe Arukusaki is up at the front, you know, and having to man the register, and they just have the shittiest boss.
Yes. So that they just want to hang out all the time. They're not stoners, but it's kind of that idea when you think of movies and it's like there's a workplace and the two guys are never doing their job because they're stoners, but they're not stoners.
Right. Every job I've ever had, I've always found a soulmate that hated the job as much as I did, where we just kind of connected and we're just like, because I was never an overachiever. Every job I've ever had, I've always been like, somehow hated it, especially not the job I have now. I actually like but like every menial job, I've always fucking hated. And then I would find somebody that just hated it too. And we would just like sit in the break room like, man, what about this idea? Could we make $1 million? You know, you just have your fucking dreams and your thoughts.
Because upper management wants all of these entry-level positions to pretend like they own and run the company too, and have that kind of passion.
Right. Yeah.
Why would I do that if I'm getting minimum wage?
Exactly. It's like, where's it's so funny how like fucking companies don't know how to like incentivize. It's like,
Ugh,
what is my
yeah,
incentive? I mean, I guess some people would be like, they could argue like your paycheck is your incentive, but I don't know, dude. That'll
yeah.
only take you so far.
Especially for the people that do work hard later on, especially when I'm like really good at doing like web design, graphic design, things like that. And it's like I'm really good at it. I'm exceeding in all these different areas. I get like congratulated. I get like presentations about all of this stuff. So it's like clear that I'm always like one of the best at that stuff. But then the yearly review comes in, and it's just like, we don't give anybody the above expectations. And I'm like, if I'm meeting expectations, then everybody else on the team is below expectations. Like, this is
Right.
bullshit. That's where you fix the incentivization. But anyway,
Right. No,
trash
I
around my
agree.
plastic. This was a while ago, so I apologize. Don't know who this chat is to, so maybe we'll figure it out along the way. $20, sending you some money to support you because I love what you are doing. Still want to know what happened to that guy that stalked you, by the way. Thanks for the suggestion of him paying for shipping and signing it. And I go to New York Comic Con. Yes. Mad. Well, thank you. So that
Yes.
cleared it up. So I
And I
appreciate
and
the
I will
$20.
we will figure out a way to get trash around my plastic. But yeah, you got to DM me, man, because I'll make special accommodations. Or I might go to New York Comic Con. If I go to New York Comic Con, because everybody thinks I'm from New York, John,
Yeah.
I will we'll meet up and I'll
I
sign a
want you to be there, but then suddenly your accent's different. Like you,
couple. Suddenly I sound like I'm from California.
yeah, it's like, what the hell happened? I'm from Florida, and people are still confused. They're like, what?
I know. It's
Well, thank you so much for the $20. Appreciate that. Yeah, I know. I always think about the Stalker video, the toy hunt video, and what could come next. I don't know.
Yeah, dude, you basically pulled a Shenmue 2 with that video where you left everyone hanging. Everybody's like, "How does this end?" And then it doesn't come out for, 30 years, 20 years, however long Shenmue took to not come out.
Yeah,
Oh,
Shenmue.
what if Shredder is working in the electronic department and you have all the TVs stacked up there? Because you know how in the movie he has like the
Oh,
multiple
right.
TVs, and it's just like a thing that he like. It's the first shot you see of him is, oh, here's the shot. It's behind his like angled right behind his back, and he's watching all the TVs, and there's this ominous music, and then you hear, Saki, you idiot. And then he turns around and you find out it's like he turns to the camera and it's like a young Haruku Saki. And he's like, oh, yikes. And he goes over there and he's like, yes, but, and he's like, get in here. And he's like, what the fuck is it? And then he starts like, just with his shit. And,
Yeah. Just, oh, go ahead.
no, sorry. And then another thing, what if like they also find some kind of like mask that looks like the foot soldiers too? There's got to be that, John, too, like where they where they find the seeds of like what would be the foot soldier outfit.
Yeah, I think and some of that stuff can just show up at the end because you don't want to do too much fan service. That's not what this is about, right? But we have all these we're like sprinkling, we're putting seeds along the way that like, oh, so that's how they got this. That's how they got this. If you're like, some of it is this, if you're paying attention. I think the character dynamics need to be figured out too. So we have Tatsu, who's kind of portly. What was the other term? Oh, he's got like a mop of hair. Yeah, like
Like a
totally
total mop of hair.
opposite. And I think he gets made fun of for his hair because it's so floppy and like
Sure.
unkept. It's just a mess of a hair. And it's just like like, dude, just cut that hair. Like you work here like this, you have a uniform, and we'll have to write you up again for not maintaining your haircut or whatever. Which is
Yeah,
another thing.
I love that. They give him shit about his hair. Like he's sitting down and like some bully guys come in and be like, "What's going on, Jimmy Fatsu?" And they fucking like pat him on the back, and they, and he's just like and then Haruku Saki comes in and he stands up. He's like, "Are you gonna fucking Jimmy? You gonna take it from those fucking guys?" You know what I mean? He's just like,
Yeah.
just kind of like looking into his lunch.
I think this is such a great story, by the way. You need to write this, please, even if it's just a
The
comic.
adventure. Dude, we got. I want to write Jimmy Tatsu and Haruka Saki. Somebody asked, how does Hamato Yoshi fit in? I don't know. I don't know, John. How does he fit in?
Well,
We
this is
don't.
all. This can all be earlier. We got to just like figure out the timeline. Like, when does that happen? With the with
Well,
because we also
according to
don't want to like again. This is like 10 Cloverfield Lane, the Cloverfield universe. Where like it only slightly connects. Like the whole movie exists, and then there's like a part of it where you're like, oh, it's part of that universe. So I think people could watch this and have no idea that if they become Shredder and Tatsu from Ninja Turtles, that these are just it's their story. We have like the friendship gets started because Shredder's like the kind of the tougher one. And he's like
right,
always trying to stand up and get Tatsu to stand up. And that's
right.
why Tatsu builds this connection with Shredder and why he's like so loyal to him, because he toughens him up and like gets him to stand up and have confidence and everything, even though it does kind of go in a darker direction for them
Yeah,
at the end.
Haruka Saki gives Jimmy Tatsu confidence because like everybody's picking on him, and he's like, look, can you gotta fucking you gotta fucking stand up to those guys. So what? You take like a hit to the face. Who gives a shit? You know what I mean? It's like that kind of thing. And he's just kind of like, and he's like eating. He's like, he just does that. And he's like, what? Why do you keep doing that? Like, what's? He's like, it's like a nervous thing that I do. Okay,
Yeah.
can you leave me alone? It's just like, and they go out and watch movies, and I want to see Jimmy Tatsu and Haruka Saki just hanging out. And you're right. Like, so for all intents and purposes, in the TMNT 1990 movie, when Shredder does the whole thing where he kind of like is a rival with Hamato Yoshi, he's effectively an adult. This could be a young adult story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This could all have happened before he gets into it with Hamato
Yeah.
Yoshi.
They could be in high school still.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Yeah,
early,
exactly. They can be
early
in high
stuff
school. They
after
can, it's
maybe.
like, yeah, you can
What are you going to
do
do with
anything.
your
You know
life?
what I
You
mean?
guys going to college? And they're like, oh, Tasha's like, I don't know. Like it's that kind of, they just get ripped on by everybody. And because we have these like crappy bosses, all this stuff, I think we could also push the time period and like make it go younger. Like let's get into the 80s, early 80s or something like that. It's so on theme. Now we don't have technology to deal with like cell phones and things like that. So let's really push it, and bosses and stuff. That whole like stereotypical the manager of a store is so much more extreme in the 80s, whether it really
Right,
was or
right.
not. But like that's culturally what we have. I think that would
Yeah.
be perfect.
Oh, yes, and Arukusa, and he sees the manager yelling at some skateboarding kids. He's like, "Get the fuck out of the and he's like, "What are you looking at, Saki?" And he's like, "I don't know, like you got to talk to those kids that way." And he's like, "Those are just punk orphan kids. Who gives a shit about them?" He's like, "I don't know. They probably have nowhere to go." And he's like, so the fuck what? Where are they? Are you going to start a place for them to go? He's like, well, if I had a place, I would have like a big place where they can skateboard inside, and I would have arcade games, and we could all play it. He's like, Saki, you're a fucking idiot. Go mop that fucking floor. And he's like, you're gonna see. I'm gonna and he's like, yeah, you're gonna get orphans for your little fucking clan there. Get the fuck in there and mop that shit in the fucking bathroom, Saki. And he's just like, just like all pissed off or whatever. And but there's the seeds, John. He's like, how do I, I'm gonna appeal to those people that have nothing, the
Yeah.
orphans of society.
I want them to be that, like, their goal is not to be the villains at the end of this, but something pushes them to become that. Like, he wants to create a safe place for orphans because maybe he is one or something.
Yeah,
That's why
maybe
he's got this
Saki is an
connection.
orphan.
Yeah,
Yes.
but he wants to. They both want to do good things and like provide for the other orphans, and like, one day we'll create that place. And it's like Tasu's like, I really like that idea. I think we could, one day you should do it. And he's like, no, we'll do it. We'll both do it.
We're gonna do it together. We're gonna get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but something in the last, like the end of the movie or the story is like there's this like vicious turn where they both kind of more that Shredder becomes like the evil version.
Yeah,
Like
he
he's pushed
becomes
too far, and Tatsu's just kind of like, he feels
yeah.
obligated. And
No, okay. And here's another thing that Shredder does. Whenever or Arukusaki, so he goes to the break room and he's eating cereal, and he has like these plastic spoons that he uses. And Jimmy is always like, "Dude, why don't you just fucking wash a spoon? Why are you wasting?" He's like, "I don't like metal in my mouth." And he's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" He's like, I just hate metal in my mouth. You know what I mean? It's just a thing. I'm fine with the plastic spoon." And then you know what you find out? When Arukusaki was an orphan, these bullies tied him down. They're like, "Here you go, Saki," and they fucking took the metal spoon and they fucking shoved it in his mouth and they rattled it in his teeth and they fucked with him. And so he has this thing about metal. But then he's like, if I embrace the thing that I fear, it's like that's how I'm gonna surround myself with fucking. And his boss is like, "What are you gonna just? You're just gonna cut through your problems? You're just gonna shred through your whatever fucking it." And he's like, if I could be just like, and then Jimmy Tatsu catches him crying one day, right? And he's like, "Dude, what's going on?" And he's kind of like, "I just wish like I could have like a suit of armor to protect myself from the world, because the world has beaten the shit out of me. And I always used to say, if I can walk around with armor, nobody can touch me." And Jimmy's like, "You will, man. Like you will." It's like this thing where he got so fucked with as like an orphan. And Jimmy Tatsu, while he helps Jimmy helps him later.
Yeah.
Jimmy becomes his rock because
That's
he has
the
nobody.
moment where you see that, like, you've always been the tough person, and you taught me, Tatsu, how to
Right.
be that tougher person. So I
Right.
know that you can be that. And
Right.
there's that moment, and they're like sitting on like a billboard.
Yeah, they're sitting on a they have to sit on a billboard. Yes.
They
John.
always go there and hang out, and that's when he comes, and he's a little bit late or whatever, and he's like, or
Yeah.
"Hey, I knew you'd be here, like, you didn't show up to work, or you weren't there after work," and he's like, "I knew you'd be here," and he's just like,
Right. They have to sit on a billboard.
and the billboard is something.
Yeah.
There's
The two of them.
something Baxter Stockman Industries or some like weird ass like tie-in.
Oh man. John, do
I
you
love this.
realize that you and I are cracking something? I haven't even been able to see the chat yet, but I know. When my receptor goes off, when my tuning fork goes off, I know it. Okay. And seeing the two of them on a billboard is the billboard of the show.
Right.
The Arukusaki and Jimmy Tatsu eating on a billboard overlooking Tokyo or wherever is the fucking
and they
show.
fucking hate pizza.
Yes, they hate. Yeah,
or something makes them hate. I think this is one of those things you see it a lot with Disney in the villain stories. I want this to be like they are not the bad guys, and whatever happens with Splinter's story or his master or whoever, like however that, is it a master or is it a I guess if we're going based off the movie,
right.
Splinter's just a rat at the time, that they come out as the villain, like the whole Karate Kid, people like revisiting that and being like, no, Daniel was the villain.
Right, exactly.
So
Yes,
having that at the
it
end.
has longevity. I like how Laser Pants comes in with his yawn. Okay, because first of all, there's not enough effects for you, buddy. Is that what's happening here? There's not enough. Or we're not talking about articulation. We're cracking creative cinema, and this guy, sorry, we don't have a toy maker here, and you gotta holding you hostage, and you gotta sit there as he waxes philosophic about. About all the things in the talk. I actually like Bobby. Okay, I that was more an attack on Laser Pants. But Laser Pants, when people are fucking being creative, you let them cook. All right, you don't just sit there and what are we supposed to talk about? Articulation all day? Thank you. All right, I take your silence to mean that you agree with us.
He does. He texted me separately.
Cool.
So I'm going to assume this is for you. Mikkel Stapler sent you $5. You want to read that?
Mikkel Stapler, how much does it cost me to become your number 2 guy? Just throw a number out there. I'm sure my wife will fully support this idea. You know what, Mikkel Stapler, you have a few. Well, Toka.Razor, you know what? There's different departments in Hatter Nation. Toka.Razor he's the leader of the members department. Okay. Mikkel Stapler, we got to give you like the head. We got different heads of different departments here. You know, you might be maybe marketing. Like I got to figure out. But if there was, we got to separate different departments, and then we'll make you the head of one of those departments. Video power gaming has to be one of the. You know what I mean? Like we've gotta. You know, Laser Pants is very devoted to the show, so we make him kind of like under somebody. You know what I mean? But he's a big part of it too. I'll employ him. So like, you know, get like different departments, and we'll figure out like the structure. It's kind of like when you go to court, John, and you see the mafia boss at the top, and you see the tiers that, like, you know, they kind of tier off to like, here's all the under bosses. We'll figure that out.
At court?
Doesn't that happen in court where they show like the mob boss? They show like John Gotti, and they're like, here's John Gotti, and they show all that. Isn't that a court thing?
Maybe. And so think of like police station. Ricky, I kind of like this idea. So if it's not like, we just pitched the movie. If the movie,
well, John, is it a movie or is it a series?
We pitched the movie, so we had the whole story of like how it started, ended. This is if it's a series. So the end of season 2 shows a close up of a manager badge getting adjusted on the shirt, and then it pans out and it's Tatsu. So like after they kick the shit out of the manager, he quits, and Tatsu becomes the manager, and that's how so season 2 is him having a little bit more authority. He's learning how to manage people.
Right.
He's still kind of struggling, but he's mostly figured out his confidence and stuff. And he kind of becomes that manager of being like an asshole a little bit. But yeah, so that's season 2. End of season 1 is the badge getting adjusted on the shirt. And
right. What if they, John? What if they go to New York, like they visit New York City, right, as young men, and they meet a young, friendly woman who's like talking to them, and she's like, but here's the thing, she's like, oh yeah, I watch TV on the balcony over there all the time, and there's so many robberies. One day I'm just gonna look away and somebody will take the TV. You know, like she just predicts it or whatever. And and you're like, oh, that's the woman that, like, you know what I mean? Like she's like, you get like these little Easter eggs or whatever, and they're like, she was a friendly lady, you know, and she does all that. Like we can Easter egg all of the different you know, things that a visit to New York, in the same way how in Cobra Kai they visited, like, was it Okinawa, whatever? Yeah. Like we have like a New York visiting moment where Jimmy Tatsu and Haruka Saki, they just go there, and then they start seeing things, you know, like they see like a Domino's pizza being made, and they're like, what's going on with that? You know what I mean? It's like things that you reference later in the movie, you know, maybe they see hockey masks for sale and one of them looks like Casey Jones, just shit like that.
Yeah, I love it. And they're from New Jersey.
And what happened?
They live in New Jersey.
Yeah, you're right.
They could just be from like a poor area.
Right.
Oh, fuck. I love this so much. Trash Around My Plastic sent $20 to, I don't know. Basically, Tatsu just snaps, and as the manager, oh, God, it's hard to read that font. I don't know why.
The manager is getting loud with Shredder. Tatsu, as the manager is getting loud with Shredder, Tatsu unleashes on him. Okay, Tatsu unleashes, and Shredder says that's how you put your foot in his ass. Oh, then Shredder takes the rap for Tatsu in prison. He teaches martial arts. We have to figure out the prison of it all, because prison could be a long stint unless he escapes from prison. But I like the thing about putting your foot in the guy's ass.
Yeah, I also think, depending on the age of these kids, this just could be like juvenile detention or something like that.
Yeah, juvenile detention could be a thing. I do like why don't you put your foot up that guy's ass, Jimmy? You know what I mean? It's like, I kind of need the job. You know, he's just like.
We could even have flashbacks of them being kids together. Like
right. Yes. Yeah.
Like middle school or something together.
Yeah. Like Jimmy's like, you know, like what we used to do, like, you know, like maybe they catch a pickpocket in New York, and the pickpocket does the thing where they steal Jimmy's wallet. He gives it to another guy, that gives it to another guy, that gives it to another. The same thing in the beginning of the movie, how they exchange that wallet with 20 passerbys, and then, you know, it lands on it. Like that shit gives him the idea. By the way, I always find that scene funny, because if somebody did that with my wallet, that whole effort that they did would give them $3. Like it would literally be nothing. In like, especially me back then, I had nothing in my wallet, but they use pretty much $1,000 worth of man hours to get one wallet, and then the one guy comes in with his hand. Obviously, he was dressed as a foot soldier just to stick his hand and take the wallet and pull it out.
Oh, fuck.
But I do love that movie. Sorry.
I love the movie that we just made up.
John, hold on. In Secret of the Ooze, isn't it Shredder that names them Toka and Razor?
Yeah. I don't know. Do we get a clear definition of who named them?
Because that might be an Easter egg too. Maybe Jimmy Tatsu or so, like maybe they have two pets that died. You know, it's like a Toka and Ray, or maybe, dude, maybe they have two buddies, and the one who loves weed, his name is Toka, and then the other guy's like, yeah, I'm Razor, and he's got like a mohawk, and those two guys die. What if it's like in honor of that, like they're part of the crew in like the second season. So one's got like a mohawk, and he's like, they call me Razor. I hate this job. What the fuck? You know, he's like that kind of guy. And Toka's like always smoking weed, and he's like, they call me Toka, man. I'm just always fucking fucked up, you know. And those guys part of the crew, but they die, and then they're like, we're gonna honor you guys. And then later, when Toka and Razor are made, that's why they call them that, Razor, whatever you want to call them. That's why later they call them that.
Yeah. So now it makes that scene like, it makes Shredder look like he still has a good heart versus just being this shithead that's like, you're baby.
Exactly. Chat, I think we're cracking something, okay? Don't let anybody fool you that like this is just, you know, like what other live stream are you going to get a fucking cinematic masterpiece just created? You know, you go to anybody else, it's just like, let's talk about let's go over 1999. I think it should cost $18.99. Let's discuss that. Boring. We're talking about changing cinema here.
Oh, God. Yeah, this is what I thought. Just basically when they first come out, that's the first time you hear their names.
Okay, but we can amend that. We can amend that, John.
Right. Like, it's perfect. Nobody technically named them. He just says their names when they come out, so it still fits what we're saying.
Yeah, it's still... I just think we need to extend especially once they start building their evil empire business on the side, because let's face it, they'll probably do it in a garage. And so they probably need two other guys, and they're like, why don't we hire those guys? They have shitty jobs, you know what I mean? And it's just like, I heard there was going to be free pizza here, man. You know, it's like that's why he fucking shows up, you know?
Oh, shit. With the two great British pounds.
Oh, dude, that would... First of all, yes, thank you for the British pounds, which I'm assuming equals $20. Yes. What if Tatsu, in his first dickish move, what if he's like, okay, what if Harukusaki's like, you know what your thing is? You're afraid to be a bully. He's like, well, I don't want to. He's like, you have to be aggressive if you're going to get somewhere. He's like, look at that kid. Push him. The kid carrying the turtles. He's like, I don't want to fucking do it. He's like, fucking do it. And that first act is what inevitably, in some kind of like irony, it's kind of like Training Day, where he saves the guy and later that guy ends up saving him. It's the opposite of that. It's like his undoing. His first act of bullying becomes his undoing.
Yeah. Fuck, I love it.
All right. This is too good. Wow, we went off on a tangent.
No, it's not a tangent. That's called a creative escape.
Yeah, that's called creativity, guys. Here's the thing, and it's just my note for the toy industry in general. If you wanna, I think there needs to be more creativity, because, and this goes to the big companies, and this goes to the little independent companies, because sometimes independent companies, John, I'm being very serious. Sometimes they'll be like, I've got a few questions from people, and I'm not outing who they are. But they're like, how do I have this idea? How do I get ahead? How do I do? You have to do something that's creative, okay? You have to do some. Now there are examples of toy companies that are making toys that have zero creativity, but they have execution. So if you don't have execution, you got to at least bring something to the table. So I think creativity, now if you have creativity and execution, then you're fucking gold. Then you will make it. Then now you're just lacking exposure. You know what I mean? And exposure can be gotten. So it's always very important in any endeavor to be. That's why a lot of movies fail, I believe, is because they might be executing well, but are they doing anything that's creative? Have you seen this a million times? You know?
Right. Yeah. I'm right there with you, man. Video Power Game with the $5 says this is all great. Please make this story.
All right, we're gonna make the story, John. We're going to figure out how we make Jimmy Tatsu and Aruku hates metal sake.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm sure there were lots of things in the chat. We were cooking, and so I couldn't read all the chat. I'm sure there was, because the chat was flying for a second there, John. Did we get all the fucking,
super chats?
did we get all the super chats? I just want to make sure people are not paying. I missed the super, I apologize. I think 2 weeks ago, I missed a super chat that I later noticed. I really apologize. The way the format is here, it's not the easiest, but I figured out how to catch them. I think we got,
our old setup would have 2 tabs so you could like see.
I know there used to be a tab that had like super chats, because I remember I would get really depressed at the end of live streams because I went to the tab and there would be one chat there. And I'd be like nobody loves it. Look, we got to go through. There's too many chats in there. I'll go through them later. We'll pull ideas / borrow them, and we'll see what, and we will make. Because I'm sure the chat's in tune. They know what the fuck is up, except like obviously Laser Pants. You know, he's like the one guy. He's like, wait, when are we going to talk about toys? But everybody else, they fucking get it. But yeah, John, I want to see the story. I
honestly think that there's so much potential in the story, and because it's so.
I'm being serious, dude. I'm not even joking. The Jimmy Tatsu and Aruku Saki story is a funny, tongue-in-cheek story. Keep in mind, tongue-in-cheek. As long as you're not trying to be like super serious, because I'm sure there is Tatsu lore in the comics that like goes into like the real, you know, he grew up and he killed his, you know, own father. I'm sure there's that. But I'm talking about a tongue-in-cheek, let's be funny about it, Jimmy Tatsu, Aruku Saki team up, okay? And by the way, John, Aruku Saki needs some kind of nickname. Like he needs some kind of shitty, it could be a nickname self-given, or it could be like bullies gave him that name kind of name.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what that is yet. Doesn't have to be so obvious. Doesn't need to even be really related.
No, but I love it. This is my kind of story.
Yeah.
This is 2 guys that hate their jobs and hate their lives. How the hell do we ascend? Yeah. Ascension stories are very underrated. That's why I love Penguin, because it's an ascension story. It's he had money, but he didn't have money. It was like, it's the plot of Scarface. It's the plot of every Grand Theft Auto game that you get. I'm in the gutter. How do I get out of the gutter and get to here? And the Jimmy Tatsu and Aruku Saki story could be a funny version of how that happens. I'm fucking here for it. John, we gotta figure out a way to not get slammed so hard by a cease and desist that it makes our fucking teeth rattle.
Well, I think we get so serious about it that we go to Kevin Eastman about it and try to get it greenlit. Like, get him on board, and then he'll have his rewrites or whatever, which will ruin the whole thing. No, I'm just kidding. Get him involved, give the approval, and then he can help us go to different studios.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Does Kevin Eastman, this is actually an interesting question. Does Kevin Eastman still have, and let's talk about Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. Do they, as a unit or as individuals, even have the power to like allocate rights or deny rights? Like, do they own?
I think it's mostly, I mean, who knows? Who knows how involved he is? But since Nickelodeon has everything, I think obviously he'd be like, regardless, it's like getting George Lucas to help push a Star Wars thing or something like that. Like you would have the right person connected to it that goes, yes, like I can help you along. You have my approval to use all of this or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, John, look at this comment. I love this comment. Saki could be a skateboarder. Yo, Saki, you can really shred. That has to happen. Come
Can't,
on.
but he sucks at it.
Yeah,
So
he
it's
sucks
part
at
of the
skate. Yeah.
bullying thing is that he's trying to get. So then he fucking hates skateboarding, which the turtles love. So it's, yeah. If anything, if that is something that gets brought in, it's because it's the turning point. It's another thing to
Right.
get bullied about.
Right. Also, the turtles represent everything that is a confident bully to Saki, because Saki and you know what I mean, like the turtles are not bullies, but he might read them that way. Like they might those might be the same type of teenagers that fucked with him as a kid. So he doesn't really have any love for them, because he looks at them at face value. They're skateboarding, they're eating pizza, they're having fun, they're smoking weed, they're banging all kinds of chicks. He's like,
Whoa.
that to me, that makes me that triggers something in his head.
Yeah, I love it. I love all of
Wait,
it.
somebody, I really got to read back the chat. I like the idea that Alpha Pro said that Foot Clan started in Foot Locker. Dude, what if the first uniforms of the Foot Clan? So, what if the first official outing of the Foot Clan, okay, is Arukusaki, Jimmy Tatsu, Toka, and Razor? They go rob a place. They're wearing their black and white referee Foot Locker uniforms, and they have nylons on their heads. But it kind of looks, but they cut the holes so they can see. So it kind of looks like a Foot Clan member, but just like a janky version. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like this, dude. Wait, what's here's a story. Oh, dude, this is gonna be a good one. He's got a story. Mad Hatter shit and then dies.
Yeah, he doesn't even. So he's gonna send that off to his whoever that has to look at that and then go. It's a short story that can be good. You out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 words, you also spelled one wrong. Or do you mean he just shit? Like there's one solid turd. Matter hat shit. He doesn't shits?
Maybe he means, maybe he's talking about a shit that I have. Like the story is about Mad Hatter shit. Like it's a character. Like you know what I mean? Like let's give him the benefit of the doubt that he wasn't spelling incorrectly, which let's face it, he was. He goes, here's the story. He goes, Mad Hatter shit, but it's like kind of like maybe a story about illness, and he dies, and then the end. So like I get what I think he's trying to like inspire us to maybe go include a little bit of emotion. Like we've talked a lot about humor, but like what are emotional things, people dying. So I do appreciate, thanks Laser Pants. Like that's like he's trying to get us into like a mindset of like, hey, this has a lot of levity, but you need to have emotion, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I like it.
Anyway, John, you know what? This just gave me an idea. Casey Jones gets fired from his sporting goods for stealing equipment. He would steal equipment, but he'd do it in a noble way. John, did you see that Casey Jones, that NECA Casey Jones? It's like black and red and gray.
I saw several of the figures, but I don't think I saw the Casey.
I thought, was it? Oh, you know what? I got it right here. Hold on. I actually did want to talk about this. I wasn't changing the subject just because let's face it, this is a fucking beautiful subject. Let me share my screen. You got the brains. Let's make lots of money. Okay, right here.
Oh, cool. Hey, that looks pretty sweet.
This looks cool, but like, I'm like wondering, is this like wait, what the hell?
That cloak, obviously, I'm gonna guess is gonna come off because otherwise he won't move.
No, I think this is a plastic. I think that's. Here's the thing: there are turtles in this color scheme too.
Yeah.
Is this like the new black and white? Like I is there a comic that is black and gray and red? Because like,
yeah, well, It says NECA Night Watcher, so I remember seeing Raphael as the Night Watcher in these colors. So I'm assuming it's all that story. It's from the Lost Years.
Oh, Night Watch. Okay, Night Watcher. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about. I love this design, but I just don't know how I feel about a whole line. Like I like black and white. Oh, dude, this fucking design is really nice. Like I like black and white. I'm just wondering, like, I mean, would you get like just a bunch of black and red figures?
I mean, yeah, I think people that want that story, that love the story. Again,
No, would you
there's no
get
image of that cloak off of him, is there?
that cloak has to come off, dude.
I mean, there's probably no scene in this look that he doesn't have it on, so it could be like the Leonardo from Last Ronin, where it's like attached in the front. You can't remove it.
It's from the Lost. Okay, the Lost Years. There's a flashback. Too much new toys. Flashback scene where they are in these colors, but Raph is dead by then.
Spoiler alert.
Spoilers. Damn it. Too much new toys. Let's ban too much new toys. No, I like him. I don't know, man. I don't know. John, can we talk about the fact that, and I don't have the screen pull for this, but that some people are getting NECA emails saying, hey, you're somebody in good standing.
Oh, I got
so
that.
we want to show you our love by letting you know that there are blind boxes. I think it was TMNT blind boxes up. Now,
Yeah,
I have gotten a message from no less than 5 people saying, I'm in good standing. Not me, like they're in good standing. I also never got an extra lab, and I didn't get that email.
Yeah, it's interesting. So here's the I guess I can screen share. There's nothing private in my emails here.
Oh, you got that email?
I got that email, yeah. All right. Let's see. $400 value for $140 plus free shipping. Free shipping's nice.
Yes.
Congratulations for reaching our NECA Rewards early access level and being a customer in good standing. As a valued VIP, you're getting exclusive early access to these Ninja Turtle blind boxes. But hurry, quantities are extremely limited, blah, blah, blah. Who gives a shit? Here's what matters. Blind boxes are available now while supplies last. Each box is non-returnable and products sold as is, which we've seen. There's a lot of like return Target stuff that's beat up. This early access offer is available only for our NECA Rewards early access level members and is limited to 1 box per customer. It cannot be shared or transferred. We take a hard stance on scalpers and bots. The same shit as we always do. So that's interesting.
Yeah. But John, what do you think about people not getting? This is not. I think that this is a dangerous. You're not in good standing, whatever, because I don't have faith that they can keep track of who's in good standing.
No, obviously, yeah. If we have people that said they didn't get the email, but they're good standing.
Dude, if I paid thousands of dollars for NECA and I did not get one of those emails, I don't even want the that thing. But like, I suddenly realized that I was being left out of good standing emails. I would be fucking livid. I would never buy anything from that fucking company.
No, I mean that's kind of where I feel like right now. Anyway.
Yeah, I know. It's like that company has pissed off so many people. So, John, the thing that you're feeling right now, I have felt this across the board. I've had people tell me. I just spoke to. I remember Justin told me that like a week ago. He's just like, I don't even feel like getting this shit. Like I like just a bunch of like. Jaded is not the right word because jaded almost means like it's your fault for being negative. Like jilted, like just kind of like offended by this company And by the way, have you heard anybody on the forum saying that they got charged yet, or like
Oh
remember how
no,
they
definitely
threatened
not.
everybody like we're going to charge you? Has that happened?
No, I don't think they would ever do that either. Especially as much bullshit was out there. Not bullshit, but like as much shit was stirring up because of that. I think they'd be like, ooh, let's not do
Dude,
that.
that's fucking. How much money do you think you have to spend to get into good standing? Have they ever said or
It
not
was like
the
400 turtle points or something like that. $400 in Ninja Turtles only or something like that to get whatever that early access bullshit VIP thing was when they first announced it.
Okay, so you have to spend.
And it's Ninja Turtles. Like people had spent way more than that buying horror things, and they
Oh,
were
that's right.
emailed.
It has to be $400 in Ninja Turtles specifically,
Yeah,
which also is fucking weird. It's like, isn't this going into the same pot? Like, dude, this company has to be the worst example of marketing and arrogance. I guess that their culture. And by the way, this is nothing against the artists,
right.
nothing against Trevor. I like Trevor a lot. Like nothing against the people that like Zelu, like the guy, nothing against them, but like the corporate structure there. I guess they're owned by like the guy who owns Graceland and like a bunch of other shit. So he's just like a rich fucking douchebag, and he permeates that rich douchebag culture. Not that if you're rich, you're a douchebag. I don't need to come off like that, but like it's just like this arrogant culture trickles from the top, and so all of this is so petty. Of like if they really are not sending people emails based on mistakes they made, like a you don't belong in the cool kids club, then that's like probably even I would say a new low for like toy companies in general.
Yeah, this is a good point too. He got the email, but it was already up on the main site, so it was like a 30-second early access or something.
Oh, it's the 30-second. By the way, I didn't get the email. I have spent plenty with them, but I didn't get the email. I talked to somebody. I shouldn't even. You know what? No, I can say this. John, I talked to somebody that knows people in NECA. There are artists there. Most of the artists are fans of this channel and you and I. There are people there that are not. And his guess is that I was just put on some like shit list or something because I definitely spent the money.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't get a fucking free lab because I would be shouting it from the rooftops. Dude, I would make so much content off that free lab. Like I'd be like, hey, free, like, trust me. But I don't get the email. So I guess I'm on, but I kind of knew that already. But the fact that somebody put my email into into a database.
Well, I mean, you say that, but like you have other people that are even right here in the chat saying they didn't get it, and they've spent.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, like Video Power Gaming. I mean, he buys a lot from them for sure. Obviously, he says that right there in the comments, but it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's all.
No, wait, Video Power Game. I don't think
crazy.
you told me that, dude. So he didn't get it. Okay, if Video Power, because I know he spends a lot on NECA TMNT shit.
Yeah, I mean, if he says, but I make fun of them on Instagram, but I talk so much shit, especially since this lab fiasco. We've had dedicated live streams, and I'm getting VIP. I'm getting these early emails. I cannot get them to reply to me, even when I start to get like pissed off in the email about resolving my issue back when I didn't get my splinter, even though it said shipped. Never ever heard from them, even after multiple emails. I ended up charging it back with the bank, which you would think that would put me on a shit list. A month or two ago, sent them an email saying, whatever the subject was, it was very much like duplicate Donatello lab help or something like that. Like, and then in the email, I'm like, hey, it looks like I got a second Donatello lab. Send me a label. I can send it back just to get them to reply. They never replied to that.
And they never reply. Yeah. No, I've heard that I've heard from other people saying, I asked them to send me the label that was not attached in the first email and could not get a reply.
Yeah.
That's who's talking. That's who's fucking making the decision. Like, and by the way, Devin Decker. So, I mean, dude, like, I'll show you right here. There's no confidential info, I don't think. Yeah, dude. Look at this fucking, look how sick I am. 18,442 points, and it says premium status. Okay? It was not in my spam. It was not, I did not miss it. And again, trust me, I didn't get a fucking Donatello lab. I would feel no shame to be like, I got a second lab and nanny boo boo NECA, but nothing. So I don't know what's going. Yeah, there's. I mean, John Toll is right. I think they hate you. It's getting around at parties. I get it, and on the street. So I think he's right. But yeah, I got nothing, and obviously other people got nothing, and I know other people that got nothing too.
Same thing for me. My personal email has nothing to do with my channel. We talked about on one of the live streams that I commented on their post. They DM me and they're like, "Hey, send us the thing. We'll try to help you out or whatever." And I was like, "You're talking to Nostalgia Unboxed. I don't want to do that. Talk to my personal account. Like, I'm not going to give this information so that anybody could associate me and not knowing, or like, did they really do it because I have a name and I can talk about it online or whatever?" But I was like, I don't know. Just answer your emails. And then there was like there was like this really long reply I sent back to them about their shitty.
I remember that was a good reply, which they'll probably not fucking read.
Well, they read it. They never replied.
Oh, they read. Okay. Premium status is not early access. So hold on, Devin. Are you saying that where it should say? Wait, what's the next chat? They haven't shared the. Oh, are you? You're not saying that where it says premium status, it should say early access status, right? Because yeah, all I have here is premium status, and then the massive amount of fucking product that I bought, which, like, dude, after a certain amount, they should just grant it to you. Donnie's Lab fiasco be damned. What the fuck? Like, you spend that much money and then
yeah, doesn't make sense.
Anyway,
based on our last live, I was talking about premium DNA, and I was reading some things from the emails, whatever, things that I was allowed to read, and I was sharing my thoughts and stuff. And then I got a nice follow-up from the social media manager that we were talking about, saying, well, if you're going to talk about us on live streams and stuff. And I was like, okay. So if you're, apparently you watched the live stream, so please check the last email that I replied to your email about. Go ahead and read it. It says you haven't read it.
Oh, that was a good email too.
Yeah. It's just setting things for. I'm just like, the taste in my mouth is getting like worse than that shit that died from your story.
I know you don't want to mention the company, but yes, I believe accountability is a big thing. There's like a weird thing where people don't want to say things that they perceive as negative, or there's a delay, or we did something wrong. I think that goes a long way, you know, where when people just show some kind of fucking accountability. But if you just steamroll through and just like go, nope, you know, don't show weakness. This isn't Cobra Kai. This, you know, you can show, like, I think we're all adults will understand. Most of us will. Yeah, you always get people that no matter what you say, it's like, fuck you. But like, just the fact that this exists. Can I just talk real quick about a good company, John?
Yeah, please do.
And people in the chat, you actually might like this if you don't know about this. If you didn't know about this, join TMNT Party Wagon, because that forum on Facebook got a leg up on this yesterday. It is where's the screen share? Right here. So BNG, which is Bottleneck Gallery, has these art prints that are going up today.
Yeah.
At 12 p.m. So what is that, John? Is that 9? So in an hour and 20 minutes, Michael Dooney art prints, which, I mean, if you know, you know. But it's the Nintendo game cover, but as a print. You can get it as a lenticular. Oh, wait, this just goes into a new print. I don't think you can click into this, but people on TMNT Party Wagon on that forum, which you should join, had early access to this. Going up today I think it's like 60 for the print, 80 for the lenticular, and there's like a foil. It's gonna go fast. It's gonna go because there's not a lot.
Right.
This
They
company's
always
pretty
go out
good.
fast.
Say again?
These always sell out fast.
Yes, these sell out. This will 1 minute of hesitation and we'll sell out. Maybe even less than that. I don't want to stir anything up. I don't get any piece of the action. But if you are interested in this, lock it in because that is such a nostalgic poster, dude.
Dude,
That
I
is
know.
just like a throwback poster.
And seeing it large, like in the party wagon, you see a larger image of it. But that first dude in the bottom left just looks like a human dude. But then to show that he's a robot, his back and spine is like this skin's split off.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah. You know what I love about this? Let me go back. It's like, I'll tell you, like, what I love about this is you can tell that this was made with maybe not having knowledge of what's happening exactly in the game.
Oh, for sure. It's like, well, I have reference to Ninja Turtles because that comic is out or whatever. But then the rest of it, like, yeah, most game art back in the 80s and 90s, at least in the US, because there were a lot of Japanese games that would just get reskinned for us.
Yeah.
Never made any sense.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, famously, what is it? The Mega Man.
Yes.
I mean, this is like a famous one. That's red. Ew.
Fuck, it's so bad.
But this doesn't even make sense. Like this isn't even good art. Like who? Like I would love to see a documentary just on man art. Like who?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Who's like this is like your little cousin.
Dude, I know.
That just.
Well, this article might be it.
Going out to thousands of people. Huh?
The website you're on is called Mega Man Box Art, a retrospective of Spite. So this might be some kind of there might be some information here.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole article here about it. Maybe
save that tab.
Yeah, Mega Man 2. Like, okay, they got it together. Although, I like this because they kind of like made human representations of like what these guys look like as humans. Then Mega Man 3, they already they're like, all right, we get it.
The problem was back in this time frame, and there's like, this is a known thing. There was a lot of artwork back then that would get redesigned to look something more Western. Because
yeah.
Anime was like, oh, that would turn people off if it was too anime-esque. So there's a lot of games like RPGs and stuff that were definitely very anime. As soon as you powered it up, it's like super anime. But the cover art would look like Sword and Sorcerers or something, or Fire and Ice kind of cover art.
Right. Yes. Yeah, no, you're right. But this is just what like.
Yeah. The perspective on the shoulders, the arms, kind of like
the way the gun is facing makes no sense. The way the legs are, it looks like he's sitting on a horse and they took the horse away.
And they were like, make sure you put some palm trees in there for no reason.
This cover got published. I know that like art ages. Like sometimes, and you look back at art and you go, "Oh my God!" But like, I cannot believe that there was a time in our lifetime where somebody looked at this and they're like, "Print that shit."
Right, and that like, this is better than what the Japanese one was.
Right.
This sold more copies in the U.S. It's a dude, and he has a gun. Instead of having a gun arm. Like that couldn't even
he's holding a gun.
Yeah. It's like you couldn't.
Somebody either got fired over this or was trying to get fired. That's the only thing I can think of. So.
and separate him from the background by just giving him a nice white haze.
I know.
Don't color
John,
in
would you buy a figure of this Mega Man?
Probably.
That's my guy. That's it. Attaboy. Anyway, I gotta jump here in a minute. So yes, if you want this, just as an actionable item at the end here, this is going up
Oh
in.
my God! Hold on. Look.
What happened?
He looked it up real quick.
Wow. Okay, so oh, sorry, an art student friend of the producer, which was drawn overnight due to
It kind of deserves a figure, kind of in the way that even Japan has accepted Super Mario 2. Like Super Mario 2 was for us.
right. It was for
It
yes.
was Doki Doki Panic, but then Japan has accepted it, and it's like they've retconned. I guess is that the right word for all of this stuff?
Right, right,
Like,
right.
all of like the shit you pull out of the ground is in Smash Brothers and stuff. It's crazy.
Well, I mean, dude, they do shit. They do first turtle shit. You know what I mean? And Mega Man is a big enough property that, I think their concept stuff could probably sell. Like if they had, yeah, just like a figure, a posable figure of shitty drawn overnight rush schedule. No offense to Kaiji Inafune. Oh, sorry, it's a friend of Kaiji. But no offense to that person. Okay, if you can't draw, you can't draw. But just imagine, you can't draw and your shit just lives in infamy. That's so fucking wild to me, dude.
Yeah, and then that's your point. Everywhere you go, you're like, well, I'd love to work here, and part of my portfolio is this wildly, highly produced item in the United States of America for this game art, and they're like, ooh, that is.
I mean, he or she, I don't know, was an art student. So, at some point they had aspirations of like art, right?
Right.
Although, I mean, I would wear that as a badge of honor. Yeah, that sucks, and I drew it. I mean,
Yeah, but I drew it in 40 minutes apparently. There's a Netflix documentary on this. Jesus.
yeah,
So, I drew it in 40 minutes. It got accepted and it is now all over these it's being published on game boxes. But it's not good. But in their head, they're like, "Oh, 40-minute job. I'm awesome. People loved it. It's great. It's good enough for publishing." But nobody wants you to work for them because you're not good.
exactly. I mean, but dude, it happens all the time. There's crappy artists out
Oh,
there,
yeah.
and some of them become editors. Some of them become publishers. One of my lowest moments when I was starting out as a comic artist, I used to go to these portfolio reviews. Okay, so anyway, an hour. Be ready in an hour and 12 minutes for. Oh, whoa, God, how did I do that? I used to go to these portfolio reviews. So I don't know if you know what that is, John. When you're trying to be a comic artist, comic conventions, I think they still do it, set up portfolio reviews where you bring, the way it used to work is you had a leather bound case and you had all your art in there.
Yeah.
And you would go there and you would look, and an editor from a comic book would look through the shit and, tell you what to improve. If you were a real star, he'd be like, hit me up. We're gonna, we're gonna make money, kid. That kind of shit. I used to go to these portfolio reviews, and I was somebody that was good enough to get work as a comic artist. I've gotten some work as a comic artist, but those portfolio reviews were pretty intimidating. I was a kid. I think my first one, I was a teenager, going, because I really wanted to be a comic artist at the time. And I remember I saw Jim Valentino. You know who Jim Valentino is? Jim
No.
Valentino is one of the original Image guys. He created, chat, please help me out, not Silverhawks. The fuck did he create? The character had AIDS. Come on, somebody in the chat's got to know. Fucking 90s. He was one of the original founders of Image Comics. Why do I keep wanting to say Silverhawks? Chat, are you gonna make me fucking go to the I'm gonna search it out. Jim Valentino, Shadowhawk. Okay. Did we bypass the super chat? I'm sorry, Trash Room. Let us know if we did, because
we did.
I hate the way this fucking. Let me scroll back.
Oh,
I
Oh,
hate
it'll be
how
this
it
one.
does not highlight.
It's this one. I think we may have put it on screen and then just never got to read it because we were so deep in creativity.
Yeah, sorry, dude. You don't have to give us another $2 for doing Oh,
Yeah.
I clicked on the wrong thing. John, can you read the chat? I'm sorry.
Fucking son of a bitch. Now I
Sorry.
gotta go find it again. We could just refund it.
Yes, we're gonna refund the $2. Make sure our guy who used to work at a pizzeria, and he was the guy who would slice up. There you go. Who slices the pies were being made, but it was really fast, and that's dude. All of these ideas are fucking great. He's like with a pizza wheel, just and it's pizza, so it's on model. Sorry, that was actually that's actually a very good point. Unlike the laser pan points that didn't really, completely non sequiturs. But thank you for the super chat. But yes, okay. So Shadowhawk, it's Shadowhawk. So, and I will say this too, Jim Valentino cannot draw. Okay, does not know how to draw. He's a working comic artist. Everything I've seen of him, I thought sucked. Dude, I had the most heartbreak moment when I gave him. So what I used to do back then is I had what they would want to see in portfolio reviews is give us 5 pages of sequential art, and then because they don't want to just see how you draw pinups, they want to see how your storytelling is. Which my storytelling was very good. Like I probably was probably the better storytelling. That was probably one of my better things that I did, and so I had these. I printed out these 5-page things at Kinko's, and I had 50 of them that I would bring to conventions, and I would hand them out. And I gave it to Jim and I said, Mr. Valentino or whatever, can you read my thing? And I gave it. Let's pretend like this is a comic. And he's like, and he's talking to some muckety muck, but he was talking to him for like I was doing that thing where I was just waiting patiently and just waiting to see if I can just hand it to him. He's an image founder, okay? And he takes it and he's about to look. He's like, this is the comic, and he's about to look, and he's like, hey Jim, blah blah blah, and he goes and he looks back at the guy, and as he's looking and talking to the guy, he's turning the pages. He's turning. He's like, yeah, oh yeah, man, yeah, no, I'll be there. Get me a drink. I'll catch up with you. This and that. And he's like, yeah, no, dude, this is pretty cool. And he fucking hands it to me.
Wow.
You know what, Jim Valentino? Fuck you. Okay, you are an artist who got lucky. You can't draw. You can't write. Shadowhawk kind of sucked. Okay, maybe I'll buy a figure if it comes out one day. But you have made an enemy of me.
Okay, maybe that was you were so much better than him that he's like, fuck, another one. Another person that's better than me that's just trying to get into the business is like, I can't fucking look at this shit.
Thank you. Dude, I was better than him back then.
Yeah.
And if you look at my art, I'll fucking show it. Okay. But he big shotted me in a way. By the way, there's a lot of these assholes in comic. You know who was really nice to me? A comic artist that works with Rob Liefeld a lot named Dan Fraga. Like, he looked at my art and he actually caught, and I walked away. I said, hey, can you look at this? Thank you. I was a teenager, dude. And I walked away and he ran and he's like, hey, come here. He's like, I actually like this, man, but I'm busy. Can you hit me up late? Like, he was the nicest dude, and he gave me a 5-page issue thing in his, and it wasn't that good, meaning what I drew wasn't that fucking good. But he was so nice to me. So he will always be up there. But Jim Valentino, you got lucky because you were in the pool with Tom McFarlane and Rob Liefeld and Jim Lee, who's a fucking superstar, and Wiles Portacio, who's a fucking superstar, and Eric Larson, who at the time was a fucking superstar, and then you had you had Jim Valentino fucking bringing up the rear with your shitty art, okay? to fucking go through my shit and not even, dude, he just hands it right back to me. So fuck Jim Valentino and fuck any condescending comic art who's just like above it. Any money he made, John, I swear is out of luck. It's just hanging. You know what? He probably knows how to hang on to coattails real fucking hard. Jim, if you want to write for the Flipboard comic, I'm taking applications. You can send me an application. I'll look over your application, Jim, because I don't know if you're broke now. I don't know what the fuck you have with your fucking greasy hair. Fuck you.
Well, as long as you're not, you know, still holding on to those.
John, I don't take rejection well. What can I?
Oh, it's okay.
Anyway.
You're in LA. You're a California boy. You should have a therapist by now, right?
I should. I really should go to a therapist. I have like a lot of.
I mean, everybody should.
But I'm also like, my craziness, I think, is a benefit. So like, I need to utilize. Dan Fraga's a total G. Dude, that guy was fucking awesome. I can't say any good thing. You know what? So Doozer the loser. I heard Dan Fraga like eating Doritos at cons. I've known Dozer since I was a teenager too. Who doesn't want to say his real name, which is infuriating to me. But I remember when I first met Dan Fraga, he was sitting. This is not a negative thing against him. He was sitting behind his booth and he was signing things. And some dude comes up to him. And he's like, "Hey, Dan," and he takes out of his bag a thing of Cool Ranch Doritos. And Dan Fraga goes, "Oh," and he grabs the Doritos and he just like, he was so happy to see Cool Ranch Doritos. So any dude who likes Cool Ranch Doritos, I mean, you're good with me, man.
Wow.
That's actually a true story.
When my brain pictures Cool Ranch Doritos specific, regular Doritos, I see the shit on the shelf today, big red dark red bag. Cool Ranch Doritos, I see that 90s bag with the hole cut out in the window and the blue on the bottom half. Like,
yeah,
it's locked in.
But do you know the Doritos? There's only one Doritos right now that uses a retro bag. Do you know which one that is?
No.
It's the taco flavored Doritos.
Oh.
All the other Doritos are in modern-esque bags.
Yeah.
But for some reason, at least in my supermarket, or they're from the 80s and they're that old, is Doritos. Taco flavored Doritos uses like the retro old school style Doritos bag.
That's so weird.
So anyway, KJ with the super chat, thank you, sir. Maybe the bullies force feed a Rukusaki pizza with a fork. Oh, which is wrong. See, this is what I like. Just bring it all together. They just feed it. They're like, "You want some fucking pizza?" And they just start cutting it, and they just fucking, and he hates the thing of metal in his mouth, and then he embraces, because that's what Bruce Wayne ultimately does. Bruce Wayne is afraid of bats. He wants his enemies to share his fear, and because he can solidify that, he knows what it's like to be afraid of bats. So he's going to relay that to his enemies. And so what if Harukusaki is like, "I'm going to embrace," you got to embrace your fear, right? In order to make it. But yes, I like that. Why does it keep wanting me to maybe block somebody? It's weird. It's like, roll with it. Fuck that guy. Yeah, man. You know what? I would never treat somebody like that. I would like, that shows who you are. Like when you treat, especially if you're a comic artist, you know how long it takes? It takes a day. It takes 12 hours to create a page of comics. You can't look at it, man. Like, you fucking, like, what a fucking piece. I would never treat somebody like that. "Oh, you got to get to the bar." "Oh yeah, I'll be right there, Todd." I'm done, John. I'm done. I'm over it. I was thinking of myself. I was channeling my inner teenage self, and I was getting mad because I was so. This is before I got jaded, and before I fucking really was like, "You know what? Fuck the world." I was so optimistic, and I could have used that at the time because I was not doing well as a teenager. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, maybe this needs to be a character too.
Yes, I think so. But good news, John. Laser Pants likes Cool Ranch Doritos.
Oh,
okay.
I mean, I remember them, but like the bag. But Cool Ranch Doritos, for some reason, right now I'm thinking fucking suck.
What do you mean you remember them? When was the last time you ate?
I'm saying I was just talking about. I remember the bag when I pictured them, but right now in this moment, I suddenly think they're the worst Doritos.
Wow, John. John, you're fucking. What
are you talking about? Did you just decide to not go after Laser Pants every time he says something?
Sorry.
Turned on me.
John, when was the last time you ate a Dorito?
I don't know.
You don't strike me as like a Dorito frequent guy.
Well, it's more of like I don't want to have junk food that often, but when we have chips in the house, I just will fucking devour them. That's why I can't have them all the time. So like salt and vinegar chips are my weakness. I could literally eat the entire bag.
Oh, my wife loves
Yeah.
salt and vinegar chips.
And that was something I started enjoying like probably 7 years ago.
Yes, salt and vinegar chips are. Do you ever eat chips like with two hands? Like you'll take a chip and you'll eat it like that and eat it, or is that what a crazy person would do?
Oh, that's normal, buddy. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, see, KJ, that kind of interaction is soul crushing for a teenager. It is. You, especially back then, as you had Wizard Comic, which Wizard showed you all of the big fucking stars like Mike Turner and Joe Madureira and like J. Scott Campbell, and like you see guys and then you meet them at cons and they fucking disappoint. And that's one of.
I wish that you could have said to him in that moment. Obviously, you're a different person then. But if he just flips through that shit, I wanted your reaction today to be what you were able to say to his face right then.
I would tell him to fuck himself immediately.
That's what I'm saying. Like back then you didn't.
Okay.
But I wish that like that version of you lived in there and you would have said that.
No, I was very, when I was a teenager, I was like, how do I explain it? I was like an artist kid who just kind of, I liked to joke around. I had a sense of humor and I was a little bit biting, but I was kind of like an artist, quiet kid. Okay.
Yeah,
but my dad had this personality, and my dad was like and I didn't agree with a lot of shit that my dad did, but my dad was a be a man and don't take shit kind of guy. Right. And I don't know, like I was like my mom until I was like in my 20s. And then when I moved out, I just was like, yeah, you know what? I'm not going to take shit. And then I just kind of became like but like back then I was very sensitive about shit like that. And I don't know, I could take criticism, but it hurt. But like, that wasn't even criticism. That was just like fuck you. Fuck you for bothering me. But anyway, I like how Lee Howell calls it crisps. That's what they call chips in England. That always tripped me out, is they call it crisps.
Yeah.
Be like, would you like some
fish and chips?
Fish and chips are fries.
They're fried.
This is why we had a whole revolution. This is why
we got to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, we're like, wait a minute, you're calling it crisps? What the fuck? And like,
it had nothing to do with religion. It was all about, I mean, I guess you could say the religion of chips and crisps.
Yes, exactly.
And that's why the French gave us the Statue of Liberty. They were like, yeah, they're fucking fries.
Yes. He was a good dad. He was. He wasn't. He had problems. My father had problems. He did pass away, but he was a good dad. He was from Iraq. He grew up in Baghdad, so he was very hard. He was a very he's an Arab father who took no shit and got into fights in his youth kind of guy. I don't really have that, but I will say he was good, but he had issues. But yes, sorry, and not to get real, but yes, he mentioned it, so I thought I would say it.
Yeah, and he said not like my dad, which was just
true. You say that about your dad. That wasn't a dig. Like,
no,
you say that about your father. Yeah. One day, John, we should have a let's spill tea about our father's chat. When we get real comfortable, we should have that, because my dad has fucking stories of, like, my dad was a fighter, like, meaning like he would get, like, he had a temper. He had and there are some stories that I don't agree with, but there are stories. So one day, you and I should fucking get a drink and we should spill some tea, and we should really just for the amusement of the chat, we should spill everything.
Oh, do it live. I see.
He does have a figure. No, he does not have a figure in Action Force. Well, no, he kind of does.
Who?
I will say what looks identical to my dad is
Oh,
this figure. Where is it? It's from the Indiana Jones line, Hasbro. It's this one. Where is it? Let me find it, because John, you might get a laugh out of this. The fuck is this figure? What's that one dude called? It's not Sala. Before anybody.
This is real fun. I like when you do this.
Oh, you know what? I can only find him on BBTS.
That's fine.
Dude, my dad. Where, this is it right here. This is what my father looked like. I'm gonna share just to give you a visual, John.
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
Yeah, he looked. My dad looked almost identical to this guy, except he never had a mustache. He just
okay. That's the part I loved the most.
Yeah, he had a mustache. He had a mustache for when he was a kid, because I saw pictures, but he didn't have a mustache in mine. But he looked just like, and he was darker than this guy. My mother is lily white, so that's why I have my complexion. But like he just a darker than this guy Arab from Iraq. It just looks like this guy, and he wore a fez everywhere he went. No, I'm just kidding. He didn't wear a fez, but I wish he did. I wish, dude. If my dad walked around with a fez, that would be amazing. Anyway, all right, John. We shared, we laughed, we cried. We came up with a great story. I think
fucking great story.
The Adventures of Haruko Saki and Jimmy Tatsu.
It's coming to
we got to fucking figure out a way.
Oh God, it's just so good. And it has to be the younger, because it's just like your story arc. You were like your mom, you were the nice one, then you kind of became the evil villain of your dad. Getting fights all the time.
My mom is a saint, just like your mom. But yes, we gotta. I don't think this would be the last we see of the Jimmy Tatsu Haruko Saki story.
Oh, it better not be. Because we also now this is the second story. The other story. Well, God, we have so many stories. We have the HasLab sticker guy. We have the thing that you actually need to make a comic of, which is the guys on the boats that are not pirates, but they do act like pirates, and the one's the survivor of getting all of the what the hell were they shipping? Oh, the flipper figures.
Right. Yes. Okay, but John, that story I have complete control of because we own that. You know what I mean? Like that. That's not a right story.
But it still needs to be written. Well, you can still write the other story.
Yeah, you can still write it. But I'm completely serious about that story being like an Elseworld back of the book type story about the flipboard shipping and the captain they hire, and it could all be done in you know, like what is that called? Like the framework could be the interview of the only guy that survived the wreckage.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Which it explains why they're getting delayed, which the reality is the blister packaging or whatever. But this is why it's delayed.
Right. Exactly. So but yes, we're gonna make that happen. Is your father Saddam Hussein? No, he was not. Although I did get a lot of shit in the 90s about like Saddam Hussein jokes, because A, he kind of looked like him, and B, you couldn't escape Saddam Hussein in the 90s. Everything like the only people that knew what Iraq was like, yes, Saddam Hussein. So if you were an American, you're just like that's your reference, you know. Thanks. Kind of what my dad looks like, but he's not Iraqi. He's native. LOL. Your dad is native. Wow. I see. I would never have guessed.
Native to where? Wisconsin.
Oh, I thought he meant like a First Nation native.
I don't know. It didn't clarify.
Anyhow, all right. Speaking of Flipboard, you got to ship. I mentioned this before. We're going to do an official, but I believe they're going to get in people's hands in April. They were supposed to get in people's hands in March, but Ace caught. Again, I'm just being very candid. The blister packaging, like the figure's already made, but the blister packaging had this weird at the top, like waviness that was inconsistent with the rest. I'm going to be very honest. If it was me, I'd probably be like, just ship it. You know what I mean? Because like, it's just an in-package thing. But I have to put on my people love in-package it in art. And so I'm just talking about personally. Like if you gave me the personal, like, do you want a Flipboard right now or do you want it? I wouldn't care because I just open it. But you know, we want this to be perfect. So that got redone, and then you have Chinese New Year, which, as you know, is not one day like our New Year. It's like a whole, I don't know, like 3 weeks or whatever. Like it's a whole thing there. But
Yeah.
everything stops. Everything, it's like pencils down. So so when they come back, that gets fixed up. That gets on a boat. But we believe the estimate of, I'm talking about in people's hands, as long as Ralph from Toy Stalker doesn't fuck it up and get fucking lazy like he is, it should be arriving April.
April's a good time.
Yeah.
All right.
Blackfoot is Blackfoot like First Nation? I don't know. Is that a First Nation thing?
Oh, I guess so.
Laser Pants. Can you give us some fucking
Unless
more?
he's still doing voice to text and it meant his pants. I don't know.
Oh, wow. All right. So that I like this one. I came in at a weird time. Saddam Hussein. We're talking about making a Saddam Hussein action figure. That would, I don't think that would go over well.
No, probably not.
All right, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Artwork, Ko-fi store. Any what's give yourself a little pluggaroo? No?
There's always stuff on the store. Scan the link tree, folks. There's so much stuff, so many things to look at. You can order the desk mat, which is behind us on the screen, in 2 different sizes. You can order a really wide one that people seem to prefer. Behind me on the blue screen.
That desk mat is fucking is you should take us away and just show
the
desk
rap
mat.
line.
John,
Behind me on the blue screen.
Can you not take us away and just show your desk mat in full view?
I don't know.
All right,
I can't.
I don't want to.
But then people can't hear us when we do that. So.
Oh, okay. It's a great idea. Sorry, I got a super chat came in last minute. By the way, guys, if you want to give us super chats last minute, feel free. We're not going to argue. Okay. Robot Reviews, who apparently this is Robo from Fwoosh's alt account. So Thank you, Robo just became, I don't know what happened, but I guess he does follow the show. So thank you, Robo, aka Robot Reviews. I get it. Super chat for $5. Sup fellas, hey Johnny, did you pick that Broly re-release? Johnny, this was for you, and I read your thing, so sorry.
Thanks for the $5, Robo T. Yeah, I ended up sadly doing it. I don't know why. So SH Figure Arts made a Broly from back in the 90s, that version of Broly, the Dragon Ball Z one. It hasn't been made many years, and they just re-released it yesterday or today. It's $90 plus $10 shipping, so it's $100 and some bucks by the time you get it. It's really expensive on the aftermarket to get the older one. They just released it after a brand called Demoniacal Fit made probably the best looking version ever because it's more screen accurate. And then a company called, the Demoniacal Fit looks like the vintage or like the old one. So it's like a replica. And Beast Deities made one that looks more screen accurate. So you have 2 companies that just released them for better prices and more stuff in the box. And then SH Figure Arts re-release it. So you have 3 people making the original Broly now.
Dude, what the fuck? And don't they kind of look similar?
Well, that's what I mean. So the Demoniacal Fit brand looks exactly like the vintage.
Sorry, I'm just
vintage.
Yeah, it's fucking wild, dude.
Yeah, they're like $300 now. So it's fucking crazy. So you have 2 people making it for the same look. One's just cheaper, and then, like I said, the Beast Deities one looks screen accurate. It looks incredible. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But I did order.
I just want to spotlight this. I wish I would have gotten those middle finger packs from Flipboard. I am thinking of for Wave 2, by the way, Eric, is because that was an early bird. I'm thinking of like just doing it for whatever, like Wave 2 would be like another early bird, but maybe with some other shit like middle fingers plus, I don't know, something else, like some other kind of hands, maybe this kind of hand, maybe whatever thing. So and there's also I might want middle fingers for the Evil Bay and some of the other characters or whatever. So if you missed the go around, you might be able to get it on the next ride. By the way, Toy Stalker is on your channel. And speaking of Toy Stalker, if you do want Flipboards, he does have a limited supply on the Toy Stalker website. Okay, you can get it there as well. And it is finite, and it's not as many as you think. So if you want one, they're going to start hitting soon, and then you're going to see some reviews, and then you're going to have buyer's remorse. You're going to say, "Oh my God, how do I get it?" But guess what's going to happen? You're going to be like, "Oh God, let me find a retailer." It's not going to be on AliExpress. Trust me, it's not going to be on there. You're going to go, who do I find it? Oh, Big Back Toy Store sold out. Toy Store. And if it sells out, you know where you go? You go to eBay. You go to eBay to get the flippinest flipper toy, and you don't want to do that. So lock in a flipper, and I don't think you pay up front. So what do you lose? What the fuck do you lose? What are you, Jim Valentino?
That's anyway. I'm gonna when I get Flipboard, that's how I'm gonna review it. Oh, what's that? Okay. Yeah, great figure. What a fucking slap in your face. I should have kept that for myself and actually did that.
Oh my God. That was fucking funny, dude. I also like that when you said, "What's that?" You're clearly looking at a wall. Like there's nobody even calling you to the left.
You can see the kitchen from where I'm at.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
All ends like right here.
Oh, you made me laugh. John, I made a bet with my wife. I said, "You know what? This motherfucker won't even make me laugh once." And she lost. She bet against you, John.
You bet against me.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it was me.
She's on.
Anyway, all right. That's it. That's the chat, guys. John, do we end on a wrap? Do you think we could make it happen one time and have like a good fucking wrap?
Behind me on the blue screen.
Behind on the blue screen. I love the art I love the art you made, and I mean that. It's not like how
that
Jim
line just destroys you.
Come through my pages and big shotted me. I was like, "What the fuck do you see? You're the weakest guy in the Image team. You're gonna get all mean when you draw Shadowhawk, which is a character that's fucking lame. Okay, you think you're gonna chase some fame because you're fucking hanging out with Toddy Mac and Robbie Lai and Jimmy Lee? You don't fuck with me. You don't make me see what you want to see. I'll take your applications for Flipboard, Jim Valentino. You want to send me a fucking email? I'll look. I stopped rhyming. I'm over that. Send me an application, Jim Valentino. I'll consider you as a writer. That's it."
Man, I will forever pitch the first line to try to get, but it just like, it breaks you every time. Behind me on the blue screen, you're like, I gotta find something else.
I just flash back to little me. It's some bully. It just hits me.
Oh, fuck me. It's so good. All right. Yeah, that's the end of it. I'm done.
That's it. Turtles, follow the links in Johnny or my description for Kowkis.
Yeah.
Some people are like, "This guy has it, that guy has it." Please do me a favor. Before you say that, check the total, because the Kowkis one is with free shipping, and that's what you pay.
For what thing?
Don't bring up a store and then it's got shipping and tax and all that. Look it up. These are expensive turtles. They will cost around what this is. Okay? And get it from somebody reliable, please. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, that's true. Reliable websites is hard to come by these days.
Man. Go
Even NECA's not a reliable website.
Dude, I keep trying to get Ralph. I think I would love Ralph from Toy Stalker, since you are reliable, if you could get, I don't know how you get the license to, or the ability to sell some of these like third-party import stuff, but like there's not enough people that sell this stuff in a reliable way, because I hear horror stories all the time. So please check wherever you're getting these things from, because I always hear stories about, "Oh, I ordered it from this, I ordered it from that, and they delayed or they did." So just whatever, just do your homework.
Yeah. Do your homework.
Do your fucking homework, man.
All right. Well, that's it. I'm going to hit the end button, and it's probably going to have ended some point